Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. This is What's New Tuesday on Monday. So as you can see, we have two major things coming up Tuesday. Since we're on the season break, this is like spring break, but not in school in tanks, except it's also not spring, it's fall. But anyway, you get the drift. Please remember to leave a thumbs up, like for this video. It'll help spread the word so other people can see what's going on. And now we'll continue with the rest of the video. So we have a brand new tank coming out, Era 2, the Warden. Let's go check it out. Okay, blah, 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 blah. There's a action video you can watch. I have not seen it yet. I don't really need to see it specifically. I'm not going to watch it here. But I am going to show you these stats. I was made aware of this by Fish. And he asked me if I was going to be getting this tank. And if I was going to get this tank, would I make a review of it? Well, if I ever got this tank, I would make a review of it, of course. My plan at this point is not to acquire this specifically. But hey, sometimes, I get random gifts, so whatever. But it's not something I would go after myself. Nothing against it. I'm completely neutral. You'll see in these pictures it looks very good. And of course I'm interested in the Punisher looking nature with the skull on the side of the turret, which is fine. When I look at this right here, this is, really interesting. This armor configuration. This is the thing that's the most interesting to me, because the armor looks very strong for a medium tank Era 2. And that's the key on that one. So to me, its value is that it looks like it might be a really good fighting tank. Compare this one to the armor of the Leopard 1A1, and you'll be prepared to laugh at the Leopard 1A1. It's lame and weak. So you could score in the Leopard 1A1, but you have to play way different. This one's definitely going to allow much more attacks. So this will be more useful to people who are really good medium players, and also people who don't have certain other tanks. But my interest in it, or I don't know, I just don't want to go around paying a ton of money for this tank. And basically this tank is about a $65 tank, in that vicinity. Ultimate, not a good deal. Why? Because they want you to pay gold for stuff you get for paying silver, which you earn in the game for playing the game, so it's free. Advanced optics, silver. Gun stabilizer, silver. Traction system, silver. Premium time, well, they sell that for gold, but if you do what I do and skim the premium days off of contracts and then skip to another contract, all my premium time is free. So I don't do that. Times for Commander Experience boosters. Now these are great. Worth buying. They sell these for $850 once a month. This package is an 850 gold package. Same thing with this ×3 vehicle. This is a 840 gold package. So again, once every month for 1 week, they'll sell these. So these are great items to have. And you pay gold for those, that's fine. But are you going to pay 16,600 gold for that? I certainly hope not. Again, same business. Warden and the premium time, which I get for free, and the boosters, which are great. So this is actually not a bad deal if you're going to buy it. And if you use your commander boosters and for vehicle as well as commander as you should use them. But I'm not buying that. This is the base unit. So I don't normally spend 12,000 or 13,000 gold for a tank. Yes, I did get the Stormer 30 for 13,000 gold, but I got a 9,000 gold refund from a chest to facilitate said purchase, which completely alters the deal. So this is, a nice looking tank. I mean, it looks like it'd be very effective, but it's Era 2. And here's my thing with Era 2. There's a bunch of really great tanks, a lot of variety, and it's very balanced. But how many of these tanks do you need? I'll tell you what I have in Era 2. In Era 2, I have my 13 SS rocket tank with Rocket Girl. I have a 4211. I have a G.I. Joe Armadillo. I have an Ignis. I have a 4-Rad. That's 5 right there. I don't really need another. Actually, I have a Centurion 120, which is, a heavy tank, stronger gun than the 4211, but weaker armor. And that was one I bought for my channel to do reviews, etc. Very good tank. And I also have one of my favorites, the Bandit, and that one was free. So, I'm good. I'm set. I mean, that's 7 really good and useful Era 2 tanks. I don't really need this tank. Would it be fun to play? Probably yes. It looks like it's really good to me. So if you're considering it, yeah, I can see why you're considering it, because this looks like it would be very effective. But how many tanks do you already have that are in the special category, like the 7 that I just listed? The Bandit to me is special. It plays perfect for me. It's not the greatest tank. The armor is not as good as this, but the mobility it fits me perfectly, and it was free. So that vaults it up to special. I was playing in a match, and I went head to head against a Jaguar Black with my Bandit, and I kicked his butt. That speaks for itself right there. So I listed 7 special tanks, from my opinion. I don't need another special tank. This tank looks like it's freaking special. I think the Jaguar Black is also good, and that would be a special tank. But again, I didn't need it. And when my Bandit beat the Jaguar head-to-head, I was like, okay. Now, there's engagement stuff you have to consider. They're both good tanks. I still like the Jaguar. But since I was able to beat a Jaguar with my Bandit, in the flow of the battle, I'm good. I don't need a Jaguar, but hey, if I lucked into one, I would not be complaining. And that's the story. If I luck into this, I'll not be complaining. But this is not a quest for myself. But it might be for you, and if it is, it looks like it's a good one. So that's what I want to tell you about this tank. I think this tank is probably a winner for a lot of players. I'm just not one of them. Now, let's go do the other part and check out tank trade-in. Let's go this way. Beautiful. All right, tank trade-in. So, like every other tank trade-in, there's pluses and minuses. One of the advantages of tank trade-in is that if you have acquired through a season or a chest, or I don't know how else, but you have a tank, maybe you're tired of it, you don't like it anymore for whatever reason, get something something back for it. Like for myself, tanks that I don't care about. I don't care about the Chrysler K. I don't care about the Mauerbrecher. I literally don't care. I don't want those tanks. So tank trade-in is an opportunity to trade in something you don't want, don't need, and you're not likely to profit from owning, to get something that you're interested in. And there's let's say you're interested in a tank, it doesn't matter what it is, and you trade in, maybe you trade in one of the tanks you don't like, and maybe 1,000 or 2,000 gold. And you like the new tank that you got, that's a jackpot for you, okay? Let's say you don't like the new tank that you got. Well, it's still good because you traded garbage that you didn't want, and you found out for a cheap price that it's not something you expected or wasn't as good as you expected, rather than paying the full price of 8,000 plus gold. Another win, smaller win, obviously, because you did save some money there. So basically speaking, they have a ton of tanks available that you can trade in. When I say a ton, just check this out. Look at this. This list is ridiculous. This is just Americans. There's that loser Chrysler K that I don't like. I have that. I mean, what it boils down to is, do they have anything that is interesting to me? And I really am not sure of that. So, that's just kind of interesting. You could trade in you could trade in this Sexton 1 artillery. That's insane. That is an awesome tank. It's one of the best there is, period. It's insane to me that some of these people would trade in, but hey, everybody's different. Not everybody likes the same thing. All right, but this is Americans. A gazillion Americans you could trade in. Man, the German list is just as impressive. Holy moly, look at this business. A lot of stuff you could trade in. Now, you're not going to get Jack. A Gross Tractor is a tier 3. I think this is 900 or gold or 1,000 gold. It's one of those two. You're going to get half value for that. It's not going to be worth much to trade in. That's not something I would trade in. This is the lesson that Fish teaches us. We don't trade in tanks that are frequent card or chest appearance tanks. Because if you get one of those tanks, cha-chinga-linga, if it's a duplicate, it becomes a gold refund. Okay, so I don't think I have any German tanks I would trade in myself. But that's just me, Now, hey. All right, let's look at the Russians. There's a lot of Russian tanks as well. I'm sorry. It's British, not Russian. Mental slip, minor. No biggie. I looked at the USSR and said Russian. And then I went over there and hit the third thing on the right, and that's UK. So that's how the slip occurred. I'm not getting dementia. Okay, just letting you know. But a lot of stuff here that's available. Now, interesting things. Carnarvon Action X is the same tank as the Paladin Carnarvon Action X, except the Paladin has the artwork, which is the version I have. I had this and I got rid of it because I have the Paladin. I don't need the other one. Okay. So just throwing that out there. All right, let's check it. Let's go look at this since I mentioned. See, there's the Russians. A lot of Russian tanks available. A lot of these are some low-grade BTSV, M3 Light, LTP. Those are all BT7R2. These are all Tier 3 tanks. You're not going to get jacked for those. So that's not a smart move. The Honor, a nice tank. unless you just hate its guts, this tank shows up in cards or chests, whichever one is available at the time of your watching this video. And it's not a high value tank, it's like 1440 gold. So I don't play this tank. I think it's cool, but I don't play it. But it's in my stash because I've gotten refunds off of this. I'm not stupid. Fish taught us the lesson, and we learned it well. We don't trade away or get rid of, sell, whatever, tanks that can make us gold or silver. Okay, so now we've seen a bunch of those tanks. Let's look at, now here's stuff you could get. Let's go take a quickie look, because there's a bunch of USA tanks you could trade in. There's only a few you can get. T-41E1, literally one of the best Tier 8 light tanks in the game. It's number 1 on my list, but it's in my top 3 regardless. Germany. Aguila, another Tier 8 light tank. Very good tank, but if you have one of the top 3, you don't need an Aguila. I still have mine because it will get me a refund potentially. Icebreaker, very good, fun tank. Slow, heavy tank, but it just looks cool as heck. So I highly recommend that as a fun tank if you can get a good deal. So if there was something you wanted to trade, if you could do that and you wouldn't necessarily feel bad. I'm not telling you to go get an icebreaker, but if you can luck into one like I did, it's fantastic. These are all pretty good. I had this tank. It's not really my style. It's very good. The AMX M4. Heavy tank, blocks shots a lot. But it's just not fun for me to play those. I don't really care necessarily for the M51 Super Sherman, because it isn't that super. It's okay. HMH AMX Model 58. Fantastic light tank. To me, it's probably number 4 on my list overall for the Tier 8 lights. It's really good. It's like the Vanguard, but bigger. It's like the bigger brother of the Vanguard is what it is, to me. All right, let's look at the British. Well, you can get a Centurion. I don't want that. Caliban, don't want that. G-Sor. Now, G-Sor, I have the G-Sor. Got it last season. The Halloween season. Got it on the Stage 69 chest. 3 or 4 days later, I got it again in the Stage 90 general chest. So the Sergeant's chest on Stage 69 had one. That was I'd never had that tank, so I got that tank. Bam. Good luck for me. Stage 90, supreme luck. Got a G-Sor again 3 or 4 days later. Kaboom, 9,000 gold refund. So this is what Fish taught us. And that it worked for me, and I used that 9,000 gold to get the Stormer. All right, so here we are, Russia. Not a lot of stuff available. K91, I have it, pretty good tank. Can't really tell you much beyond that. What about Sweden? Got a Draugen Lance and C. Barracuda Eagle 51. Nice skin on the Emil. I don't care about Japanese tanks. Don't care about Chinese. Yeah, Yazi, or as I call it, Yahtzee. Well, if you use the N and it's Nazi, well, then I use a Y. It's Yahtzee. Who doesn't like Yahtzee? Czechoslovakia, they have something good here. Lioness Skoda T45 and also the Tiger 1 with 75mm, that's the translation, Skoda A18 autoloader. It's an autoloader Tiger. Really good tank. Poland 652 LIS. You got an Italy, Arietta Progetto. I've been disappointed with all Italian tanks. What else? Mercenaries, the Turtle. The Trinity Mark II, not that great of a tank. I am not a fan of this tank. Don't have the Turtle, but I have the other one, the TANK. Very similar, kind of a fun goof-around tank. So Turtle might be a good goof-around. Skullcap, I don't have that. And I don't really have any kind of opinion on it either. Well, well, well. Western Alliance Blue Cold War. Rocket Girls tank, the 13 SS. Excellent. FV 4211. Excellent. Leopard VT2. Bernie says this is really good and has great luck in it. I don't have one and I don't have an opinion on it because I have too many special tanks. But these other two are special. The Rocket Girls tank and the 4211. Those are special tanks. Eastern Alliance. Enigma. Good medium tank. I have that. Don't have this light tank, the 63 HG90. It's one of the boat tanks that doesn't float. But it's a 12,000 gold tank, so it's going to be expensive. And then, of course, Type 80. So this is the stuff that's available. If any of those are interesting to you and you have some of those crazy tanks that you got from Seasons or what have you, it might be worth your while. Let me look at it. I want to look at this German list because there's something specific I want to look for. Because there's a lesson here that I want to give to you and spread in case you haven't had it, if that tank is available. Wow, I don't see that. You can trade that in. Usually you can. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for right here. The Kampfpanzer 50T. Now, why was I looking for this tank? Let me show you. Kampfpanzer 50T, that means fighting armor. This is a tier 9 tank, which you can see right here. IX, that's Roman numeral 9. And it's high dollar. All tier 9s are high dollar. Here you go. Tier 9, standard price, 17,500 gold. I had this tank, and I got it from an operation. Good tank. I don't play tier 9s because they're just not fun to me. And this is one of the tanks that, I guess let's go look at the picture of the tank while I give you the speech. This is a tank that is an exception to the rule that Fish gave us. You know, he's like, never trade in, get rid of a premium tank. Now, there's exceptions to that rule. This is one of the exceptions. Tier 9 tanks and Tier 10 tanks are exceptions in certain cases. This is one of the cases. And I told Fish, I go, I got rid of my Kampfpanzer 50T. Even though it's a good tank, I just don't personally play Tier 9s. Okay, fine. You like it, you don't like it. That's you know, not a debate. But he's like, well, you could just keep it for refunds. I go, it's a Tier 9. They don't give those away except in an operation, and then it would be a silver refund, and I don't care about that. Because I could trade it in for something that I wanted, which was good. And that's the key. So these are not available in cards or chests. So tier 9s and 10s are not available in cards or chests. They also have 0 silver bonus. So you can't make silver by playing it. Unless you do just like gobs of damage, okay? And this is not in my area of expertise. So I'm not going to play this basically ever. Looks awesome with that camo net skin that you can see on the front of the tank right there, that green. That camo net skin looks awesome. There's all kinds of things that are good about this tank. It's a good tank. I got rid of it because I never play it. If you're not going to play it, get something that you want to play. And that's what I did. So this is the exception. Got rid of all of my tier 9s that I got from operations, except for the one it's still not available to get rid of, and that would be the British Cobra Tier 9 2022 Ultimate Season Pass tank. That one, I'm stuck with it. It's nothing special. And it's a Tier 9, doesn't make me silver, doesn't make me gold. I don't play it because it's a loser Tier 9 medium autoloader. It's not fast enough to be useful. Whatever, dude. So it's a bum tank to me. This tank is way better than my Tier 9 Cobra. I'm still stuck with it because in this setup, I couldn't trade it in like bogus. Oh, well, whatever. I'm waiting. As soon as I can trade that tank in, it's history, pal. I have no use for that stupid Cobra. So this is the exception. Now, I mentioned earlier I had the Carnarvon AX and I had the Carnarvon AX Paladin. The Paladin is a beauty. That's why I kept it. The Carnarvon AX is exactly the same tank minus the artistic artwork on the turret shield. That's it. That's the exception. That Carnarvon does show up in cards and chests, but it's a low percentage chance. It's not going to burn me. So I was like, I don't need that. I got something that I was going to play. I'm good with that. And if I miss out on a refund because I got rid of the Carnarvon, point for you, whatever, it doesn't matter. So just, do this kind of stuff up front with yourself. And it's like, hey, if the bad luck happens, I know the bad luck that happens could be whatever, dude. I'm not going to complain about it. It'll be a joke. I will make a joke complaint if I get a Carnarvon AX in a chest and go, God dang it, I traded this away and I would have gotten a gold refund. That's as far as it's really going to go. Okay. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. It's no big deal. I jackpotted on the G-Sor. We're good. Okay? We're absolutely good. So I'm not worried about it. So don't worry about it. Like I said, I give you the information. That way you can make the evaluation for yourself and choose whatever floats your boat. But don't trade in a tank just to trade one in. Have a reason. You don't like it, great reason. You never wanted it, great reason. It never shows up in cards or chests, great reason. But don't trade in something that's low end. Like that, I mentioned that Gross Tractor Tier 3 German. You get this perhaps from a card, you didn't want it. You're going to get 450 or 500 gold for it in trade. Well, whoop-de-doo. Now, I never play my Gross Tractor 3 that I got from a card, but I've gotten refunds off of that already, so I'm going to keep it. And if it shows up again in a card, blammo, refund. That's just the way it, long hauls. I get long hauls, and if my long haul card turns into a tank, which it does 10% of the time, after you get a bunch of these tanks, for me, the private chest or the blue cards are the most common long haul refunds. I keep the stuff that's going to come up in those lists because I've seen those lists season after season after season after season, and I don't know specifically every tank. I don't have to. The frequency I'm well aware of. So I keep all of those. Like in the recent list, I didn't count it myself. Let's go to the Halloween season. On the Halloween season, I had 12 of the 15 tanks. So I was good for all my chances of getting refunds if I got a tank, which I did do at least once. So I'm good with that. So just be informed. Don't try to be a sneaky superstar, but just be informed. And then don't do things that's going to go against the information that you pick up from myself, which the bulk of this information I picked up from Fish. Fish taught me, and then I took it, mastered this, added the part of the tier 9s and 10s, which Fish himself agreed was a tremendous addition, to his rule. So Fish taught me, I showed him something that he himself even didn't think of, as great as he is. And so I spread this word here on YouTube, and I give him the credit. He's the one who taught me, who made me so good in the trading and refund game of World of Tanks. So I give him the credit, and then I spread it to you, tell you, hey, and if you go and do whatever, fantastic. More power to you. I'm not here trying to be the big shot. I'm just trying to help people do stuff that's going to help them. And that's what I do. And that's why I'm telling you this stuff. So anyway, we've gone long enough with this. What's new on Tuesday? But on Monday, we covered this new tank, which looks outstanding. We covered the the trade-ins. So, but trade-ins are made by us with a view towards refunds. We don't want to wreck our refund status. We're always trying to make moves that acquire things that will help us in refund status, like myself with this Kampfpanzer 50T. It helped me in my refund status. Now, I don't remember exactly what I got, and the odds are that I did not directly get a refund from whatever I got so far. But it's the shotgun approach. The shotgun approach is that you don't have to hit every pellet from the shot. You get some, you're not going to get all. Okay, that's fine. So we're just playing the percentages, and the percentage game is to do the things I have told you. That's the highest percentage. Now, again, like I said, I violated Fish's rule by getting rid of the, Carnarvon Action X. But I got something that I used. That's a fair trade-off. Like I said, I lucked out and got that G-Sor credit. And if I get hammered, it'll be a joke on the Carnarvon AX, and we're good with that. I'm a big boy. I know the risk. I know the whole rules of the game. I'm willing to accept the consequences if I get hammered by a Carnarvon AX. That happens in a card or a chest. I'm not really worried about it. I'm happy with what's going on. So just be aware of the situation and go, hey, well, you know what? I am going to trade in fill in the blank tank that you don't want. And if you get burnt, we're playing the odds. The odds are in my favor. But it's okay. No problem. Please leave a like for this video. A thumbs up would help spread the word on YouTube to other World of Tanks players. Please tell your friends. Let them check this out so they can learn the stuff about the refunds that will help them as they're related to the trade-ins. And maybe they'll leave a like or subscribe. So I got plenty more videos to do. I'm kicking butt. Check my page and see what the newest videos are. One of the things you might be interested in, check out my Rocket Girl videos. Really good stuff there. So hope to see you again real soon. Maybe later today, tomorrow, the next day, whatever. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you guys soon, and best of luck on your trade-ins. And feel free to leave a comment if you have a question about a trade-in. I'll be glad to help you out if I can. See you guys later.